Hi, Children's Church kids. Today, we're going to be opening up a treasure chest box, and I think I'm really excited for today's.
I'm excited. We've had exciting days.
So let's see what's in there.
Are you ready? All right, I'll hold it for you.
We have
Praying hands.
We have a cross.
A cross. A lot of people wear crosses around their neck. Praying hands. I love to pray.
A whoopin.
A whip. I don't know if I like that one.
And we have a crown.
A crown. That doesn't look like a very pretty crown. Put your thinking caps on. Are you ready?
Comment down below, what do you think it is?
All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different things.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready for our treasure hunt?
I'm excited.
Those are our clues, you guys. Are you ready?
When they came to the Garden of
Gethsemane.
Gethsemane, Jesus asked his disciples to pray with him. The disciples
To pray.
prayed with him. The disciples were tired. They fell asleep.
And Jesus prayed
alone
to the Father. That must have been very sad for Jesus, right? Because Jesus was by himself praying to the Father, and all of his disciples got tired and they fell asleep. And it happened actually more than one time. Jesus went back. It happened 3 times where Jesus kept saying, "Are you still sleeping?" He would go back and check on them, and then he would go back and pray to the Father. That must have been a very sad, lonely time for Jesus when he needed his best friends with him. But he went straight to the Father to pray. And this time when he prayed, he was praying, and it was a very difficult time for Jesus because Jesus knew what was going to happen. Let's see what happens. So, their heads are nodding. And Jesus is sad. And he's praying to the Father. Even the owl and what else, Lydia?
And the bunny.
They're both sleeping too.
And there's also more disciples over there too.
Oh, yeah, the other disciples are sleeping over there. That must have been so lonely for Jesus. Let's see what happens next. They're actually snoring.
And Jesus knew that the enemies wanted him dead. He also knew that dying
Was God's.
was God's plan.
That's
for
right.
him. Show me another way he can pray. Otherwise, I will do that what you ask.
Yeah, he was hurting a lot because he knew that the Father had another plan for him. And right then and there he said, "Father, not my will be done, but your will be done. Whatever you want, Father, I'm willing." We should be like that too, right, Lydia? We should have that kind of a heart too, where we say, "Lord, whatever you want, Lord, that's what I want to do." So that must have been so sad. Look at the birdie over there in a nest. He's praying again by himself. That was so difficult for him because even the animals were sleeping. He was sweating because he was in so much pain. Let's see what happens. It's cute, bunny.
Suddenly, a light shone.
A light.
A light shone.
And they were
There was
shouting.
and everyone woke up. An angry crowd
Approached.
sent by the religious leaders. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Judas
kissed
kissed
Jesus to
Jesus.
show them
Which-
which man to arrest.
So look what happened here. The angry ones. Do you remember these right here? These are our Mr. Grumpies, the Philistines. And these are the soldiers that came to get Jesus. Did you see that? So Judas, which was one of Jesus' disciples, came and kissed Jesus. I don't know about you and my Lydia, right? Whenever we kiss somebody, what is it? What is that a sign of? When we kiss somebody, of love, that we love someone, that we care for them, never a betrayal, never being disobedient or denying Jesus like Judas did. But here are the Pharisees again, grumpy Mr. Pharisees. They were wanting to find fault. So let's see what happens now.
I'm the one you're looking for, said Jesus. When he said this, they knew
They drew back. And they fell to the ground.
Then they
Grabbed
Jesus and took him to the religious leaders.
Let's see what happens. I love this part. Watch, guys. You watch. He said, it's me. And Jesus, of course, he's my superhero. Right, Lydia? He's our best superhero. He had so much power in his words, I guess. I don't know. That what happened to the soldiers? They fell back, right? When they heard Jesus say, it's me you're looking for. So, and then look at the Pharisees there. Those are our grumpy Pharisees. They were probably freaking out too. So look what they did already. They got him all tied up and they want to take him. But anyway, Jesus could have right there and then, he could have like zapped them or like come like one of those superheroes and do something powerful. I don't know. Karate chop or something. I don't know. But he didn't. He didn't do that because he said, let thy will be done, Lord, not my will. And he knew that this had to happen. So they took him. Let me show you what the soldiers normally would wear. This stuff used to be really heavy. This is like their armor that they wore. See this? They would put it around their arm like this, like a shield. They had a sword and a breastplate. You see that? So they were equipped, and really that was to protect them from anybody fighting them. But Jesus just surrendered because Jesus wanted to do the Father's will. And remember, our Jesus had power, more power than any superhero, but he wanted God's will to be done. And he was without sin, so he willingly did it. Let's see what happened now.
The religious leaders told the
Governors,
Pilate,
Pilate,
that Jesus was
dangerous.
and wanted to be king.
Pilate asked
Jesus, Is this true? I am king, Jesus answers, but not of this world.
So what happened? There are the grumpy, Mr. Grumpy Pharisees. You see them? They're saying all these things, whispering all these things in Pilate's ears.
Jesus
is innocent,
said Pilate. There's no reason to kill him. I will set him free. But
the crowd shouted, kill him! Kill him! So all the crowd was shouting, kill him! Kill him! You imagine how sad that was when Jesus did nothing wrong but love everybody, heal people, deliver people, touch people's hearts and love people. Let's see what happens.
So Pilate had his soldiers whip Jesus. They forced a thorny crown on his head.
Oh my.
Then they laid a wooden cross on his back and led him up a hill.
Okay, you guys, let me show you kind of like what happened. It was a whip, and the whip had these pokey things on the ends, and they whipped Jesus like this 39 times. They hurt him, and Jesus did not deserve it. Then you know what they did? They started mocking him. They were mocking him, and this is thorns. Do you see those little thorns? They're very, very painful.
Very pokey.
They grabbed thorns like this and they shaped it into a crown. They put it on Jesus's head and they pushed it in his head. And then do you know what they did? It's so sad. Then they started mocking him and they were going like this. Hail to Jesus! He is the king! He is the king! Like that. They were making fun of Jesus. They were mocking Jesus. That's just so sad.
Let's see what just happens.
And then, see that heavy cross that he's carrying? I'm going to give you a little example about that, okay? A cross would have been heavier than this. So heavy. Look at that. He had it on his back, carrying
In
this.
real wood.
It's like a piece of tree. Okay, let's see what else happened.
There on that hill, the
Roman soldiers
nailed Jesus to the cross. Hands and feet. They had risen it high.
They raised it,
Jesus-
right?
Yeah. Jesus hang there between
Between two criminals.
criminals.
See, the criminals were different. Criminals mean that they did something bad and that they deserved to be hurt. But Jesus did not deserve it. So what they did was, this was like the heavy cross that was on Jesus. And what they did was, if you want to hold that, Lydia, you can put it here. They nailed Jesus like that. And that hurts a lot. And Jesus did not deserve this.
I wonder
They-
how that felt.
Very painful. Okay, let's see what happens. So Jesus was in a lot of pain. He didn't have to do that. Jesus did not have to do that. He had all the power, all the muscles, all the strength to get out of that cross and zap everybody and get rid of everybody, because he had power stronger than a superhero. But Jesus did not do that. He stayed on that cross because that was the will of his Father. The Father wanted Jesus to do that for you and for me. Let's see what happens.
Around noon, the sky turned dark. Jesus's friends
They wept.
The religious leaders laughed and said, "You saved other people. Why can't you save yourself? Forgive them, Jesus." Father,"
Forgive them, Father, said
said
Jesus. Let's see what happens here. So the sky got dark. It started to thunder. These are the grumpy, what? Pharisees. And they were saying, well, can't you save yourself? Yes, he could have, right, Lydia? But he chose not to do that. You know why he chose not to do that? Because he did it for you and he did it for me. He went on that cross for you and for me. He shed his blood for you and for me. He died for you and for me. And that's the soldier there. And they were even making fun of him. Even while Jesus was hurting, they were making fun of him.
Then the time came for Jesus to die. He closed his eyes and said, "It is the finished."
It is finished.
He had completed what he had
Come to do.
because of his great love.
So right before he died, you know what he did? You know what he said to his Father, his heavenly Father? He said, "Forgive them, Lord, for they do not know what they do." Forgive them. He already forgave them in the cross when they were mocking him, making fun of him. They were even spitting on him. They were even making jokes about him. Even these religious grumpy Pharisees were saying, "Well, let's see now how you can save yourself." And he could have done that, but he chose not to do it because he wanted to do the Father's will. So whatever he came to earth for was finished, and he died.
One of Jesus's
Followers. A man.
a man named Joseph, put Jesus' body in
A brand new.
a brand new tomb. He rolled a huge stone in front of it. A long, sad Friday was over.
So remember we talk about Good Friday, how that's when Jesus died? So they put him in a tomb and they rolled a huge stone.
Super heavy.
Yeah, it must have been, look at that. It must have been bigger than our door, right, Lydia?
Yeah.
I don't think you can carry our door, right, Lydia? I can't either. But it took lots of men to be able to push that stone. They wanted to make sure that the body, Jesus' body, was safe inside that tomb.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you an example. This is a rock, and feel it. How is it? You think it's light?
It's a little heavy.
It's heavy, and look how little it is. Imagine one of those huge rocks, like the size of, I would say the top of the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
It was a heavy rock. So that they wanted to make sure that Jesus wouldn't come out or that nobody would take him out. All right, so tomorrow is our final day.
Of the
Treasure
chest.
box,
Treasure
yes.
box.
So tomorrow's our final day, but we can't tell you what's going to be in the treasure box. Can't tell you. All I can tell you is it's my favorite. Right, Lydia? It's my favorite. And we have got a surprise for you.
Uh-huh.
Don't forget to read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It talks about everything that took place all those days and that few days right before Jesus' crucifixion and surprise. We can't tell you.
Like and subscribe.
Like us.
And subscribe.
And
Comment down below.
All right. Click down below. We
Bye.
love you.
See you
Bye,
tomorrow.
kids. Bye.